Good morning, sim racing fans, and welcome to Phoenix International Raceway. We are getting set for the Old Bastards Racing League Cup Series, and we are at the Camping World 500. We got a lot of action to get to. We got a free copy of NASCAR Heat tickets that we're going to give away also today during the broadcast, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. But first and foremost, let's actually introduce you guys to who is going to be starting where in the race tonight, or this morning, I should say. On pole is going to be the number 96 of Matthew Gibbs, and Kenny Kulakowski is going to start second. Starting third is going to be Mike Schrader in the number 4 car, and starting fourth is going to be Patrick Milligan in the 99. Fifth, that's where you're going to find Steve Thompson. Sixth is going to be Joel Kilburn. Starting seventh tonight, Brandon Hartwell, and starting eighth, Brian Glass. Ninth is where you're going to find Sam Maxwell, and then starting 10th, Matthias Siegel. Starting 11th is going to be the 30 of Dan Denayer, and starting 12th, Dode Hoskins. 13th is going to be Raymond Castile in the 42, starting 14th. How about Ken Huff in the 46? 15th, that's where you're going to find Bruce Pearson. 16th is going to be where Billy Rigdon rolls off tonight. 17th is going to be Steve Cunningham. 18th, Charles Idle. Starting 19th, Robert Smith, and starting 20th in the number 19 is going to be Eddie Jones. Starting 21st is John Hastings, and starting 22nd, Dean Ayer. Starting 23rd for the race is Craig Hawkins, and starting 24th in the number 76 car is John Waters. 25th, and these guys did not make the qualifying time, is Sean Bayer in the 13th. 26th, how about Ted Quinzel? 27th is going to be Rick Mason, and 28th is going to be Ed Carpenter Jr. And then rounding out your field in 29th is Brian Wire, and 30th, Dave Leisure. So that is your field as they get set to start rolling off here at Phoenix. These guys are getting ready to get down to business. Matthew Gibbs, though, was your pole sitter, so we're going to catch up with him real quick as these guys are getting ready to get to the drop of the green flag here at Phoenix. An exciting race yesterday in the Xfinity Series. An exciting race is expected today as well. It should be great. We got a lot of racing to get to, and everybody here is looking forward to it, including myself. Pace car is in. That leaves the field in the hands of Matthew Gibbs, and the green flag is out. Matthew Gibbs doesn't get quite the start that he was looking for, I bet, because outside Kenny Kulakowski in the 9 car is actually going to be able to take over the lead and the top spot, so he's got sole possession of that. They head down to the dog leg in the back stretch. Oh, looks like we got a wreck right behind him.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Looked like it was the 99, I think. Patrick Milligan, yeah, he went around. That's an early caution already in this one. So let's see what happened here. We're going to take a look back. It was on the exit of turn number 2. We saw Patrick Milligan in the 99. He's on the top side in the green and yellow car. And I think that car came down a little bit, made some contact with Steve Thompson. Thompson might have slid up a little bit in the 67. And then he gets hit as well from the back. And it looks like Milligan goes sliding down onto the apron into the inside wall. And we're going to bring out a caution early here on lap number 1. So Steve Thompson, another one of those drivers involved in that one, he actually sustained a little bit of damage on that first caution there, guys. Also, guys, don't forget for the NASCAR Heat tickets, Jimmy Strickland, I see you're in right now. Guys, comment your username right now for a chance to enter the tickets. I'll give you guys till the end of lap 3 here to comment your username to get an extra raffle ticket. Jimmy Strickland is in. Wait and see if we got anybody else that we're waiting on. But yeah, first caution of the day comes out pretty early here. Wreck between Steve Thompson and also the 99 car. So that's going to put us under the yellow flag here already. Tough break for the 99, and a tough break for Steve Thompson as well. I'm sure that's not the way he wanted to get this race started. But nonetheless, we do have a caution under our first yellow flag on our first lap of the race. Kenny Kulakowski is your leader. I'm looking in the chat down below right now. All I see is Jimmy Strickland, guys, so make sure if you want a ticket, a raffle ticket for the NASCAR Heat 2 giveaway, all you got to do right now on this lap is enter your username before it comes to an end here as they're exiting turn number 4, and that'll guarantee you a raffle ticket into our giveaway, which we're going to do Monday night in the joinaps.com Truck Series here, right on this channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed down below. Looks like they still got 2 more laps before we get back to the green flag. Just Jimmy Strickland, all I see right now. So Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and give you 1 raffle ticket. I'll go ahead and write it down in my notes and keep you up to date on that. Remember, guys, our other raffle ticket is going to be given away on lap number 78. So I'll remind you guys, Mike Grayson, I see you as well. Any last second guys besides Grayson and Strickland? I don't think so. So let me go ahead and write that down. But yeah, lap 78 is going to be our next lap where we give away a ticket opportunity for you guys. So make sure you guys are following along till then. And then also our third and final time for this race is going to be obviously at the end of the race on lap 156. So a couple more opportunities to get your tickets if you haven't already, guys. Lap 78 is going to be an opportunity when you can comment your username down below for 1 ticket. Also lap number 156 at the end of this race. And I think we're going to get set to go back to under the green flag here just shortly. These guys should be getting the 1 to go this time when they cross the stripe. And indeed, the pace car lights are off. So give Kenny Kulakowski the top spot as these guys are getting set to restart. And restart in second. Right behind him, how about the 96 of Matthew Gibbs restarting third? That's where you're going to find Mike Schrader in the 4. And restarting in 4th is Steve Thompson. That car has a little bit of damage on the front, a lot of damage on the back end of the 67 car. He was involved in our first caution flag. The restart in 5th is going to be Joe Kilburn in the 40. Restart in 6th is Brandon Hartwell in the number 103. That car also has got a little bit of front end damage. 7th is going to be Sam Maxwell. 8th, Brian Glass. 9th, Mateus Siegel. And then 10th, Dan Denayer. So that's how they're going to restart here on lap number 6. Is going to be the lap when they cross the start-finish line. Kenny Kulakowski in that Hooters number 9 Chevy SS. Looking forward to what this race is going to bring for him. And we got a lot of action left to get to. And once again, looking forward to it. Pace car is in. Kenny Kulakowski on the gas hard. Matthew Gibbs spins the tires just a little bit on the outside. Kulakowski jumps out to a pretty good lead down to the turn 1. Meanwhile, there's 3 wide back there for second. You got Matthew Gibbs, Mike Schrader and company all going after. Looks like they're still hanging 3 wide. This time Steve Thompson in the middle of it. Hartwell up top as well. Cross the stripe for 1 green flag lap. How many more can they make? Meanwhile, up front, it is all Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9 car. Schrader falls in line to second. 3rd is up for grabs between Matthew Gibbs and Steve Thompson. I think that position is going to be given to Matthew Gibbs. Thompson a little bit of damage on that machine. Meanwhile, battle back there for 5th. Looks like it's going to subside. Brandon Hartwell is going to take it over. And Sam Maxwell working on Joe Kilburn for 6th. Hartwell now moving up another spot, trying to take over the position away from Steve Thompson. Once again, that 67 car, a lot of damage. I think that might be hindering his speed just a little bit. I don't think he can run as fast as he wants to in that 67 due to all that damage on the race car. So Hartwell now down there on the bottom in the number 103. Doesn't have quite enough momentum to stick on the inside of him and make that pass work. Meanwhile, Kilburn and Maxwell still racing each other pretty hard back there for, I think that's the 6th spot. Got Maxwell in the 98 up top, finally gets that position, and Joe Kilburn down there in the 40 on the bottom, and he's going to lose that position. Meanwhile, up front, Mike Schrader trying to chase down Kenny Kulakowski, who's kind of running away with it right now. Out of turn number 2, or turn number 4 rather. And you start to see the field kind of spaced out a little bit, especially amongst the top 3, about a half second between each of those drivers. And then Gibbs has some company with Steve Thompson and Brandon Hartwell. Looks like we got another caution out on the racetrack. I'm going to try to see where that's from. Oh, looks like it's the 42 of Raymond Castile in turn number 2. So let's see what happened here with him. But yeah, he's bringing out our second caution of the day. I think he got into turn number 1 a little bit too hot. Might have even slid up into the number 3 car of Bruce Pearson. Look at that. Bruce Pearson even goes spinning there. So Pearson gets in the outside wall. Look at that. Raymond Castile gets hit Also, on the rear end of that car, thinks he slides up, almost hits the number 19 of Eddie Jones. Looks like he was able to make an evasive move around it. But Raymond Castile, Bruce Pearson, a couple of these other guys involved in our second caution of the day. Tough break for those guys. Meanwhile, up front, Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9 car continuing to lead here at Phoenix. Yeah, Jimmy, no problem, man. I like having the opportunity to give away NASCAR games. Anything I got that's NASCAR, I want to give it away if I can. So, yeah, definitely you're welcome on that one, and hopefully you do end up winning the game. We'll have to see how the raffle all plays out, because, again, we got another night. We got 2 more tickets to give away today, also 3 more tickets to give away on Monday. So we'll have to keep up to date on that. Look at that, you got a couple guys coming down pit road. Brandon Hartwell, Dan Denayer, Mateus Siegel, Brian Glass, Dude Hoskins, all these guys coming down on pit road right now. Oh, look at that. Dan Denayer having a lot of trouble getting into his pit box. He's going to have to pull forward. Looks like he's going to throw it in reverse again before he actually gets into his stop in the number 30 car. So tough time getting into his pit box for Dan Denayer. However, Dude Hoskins is out. 46 is out. Mateus Siegel out. All these guys able to get out of their stall quite cleanly here. A lot of these guys stopping for the first time today as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that on lap number 12. Up front, though, it's been all Kenny Kulakowski so far today. So yeah, Kenny Kulakowski, who started second, actually was able to grab the lead before they hit the start-finish line, and just barely edged out the pole sitter, who was actually Matthew Gibbs right there in the number 96 car. So Gibbs doesn't even have a lap clip today because he was edged out at the stripe just barely over Kenny Kulakowski. And then fourth, Steve Thompson. That guy, that car has a lot of damage on it. He was involved in our first crash of the day, which sent out the yellow flag early on lap number 1. Got hit from the rear, got hit from the front. A lot of damage on the 67 car, yet he hasn't pitted. He's actually been staying out on track, so not sure if he's trying to work with the damage or if he's just trying to keep his track position or what. But we'll have to keep an eye on how Steve Thompson does for the remaining of the race. And also keep an eye on who our front runners are going to be, because right now it seems like Kenny Kulakowski, Mike Schrader, and Matthew Gibbs are going to be the guys up front. We're going to have to see if it stays that way, though. Drivers do get the 1 to go signal, so they're going to start doubling up side by side. We'll take you through your restart order here in just a moment. I want to take a look and see if we got anyone commenting on the live stream. Guys, once again, don't forget to chat down low in the live stream. All your comments, if you got any questions, anything like that, I'll go ahead and answer them. It's a lot of fun interacting with a lot of the viewers too, so make sure you guys let me know your thoughts on the race. Who you guys think is going to win? What do you guys think of the latest caution? Stuff like that. I look forward to it. But yeah, Kenny Kulakowski starting first. Restarting second is going to be Mike Schrader. Third is going to be Matthew Gibbs. Fourth, Steve Thompson. And restarting fifth is going to be Sam Maxwell, the number 98. Sixth, Joe Kilburn. How about that, the 40 car? Seventh is going to be Robert Smith. Eighth is going to be Brandon Hartwell. Ninth, Mateus Siegel. And then restarting 10th, Ken Huff, and the number 46. I think a couple of these guys are a little confused on where they are supposed to be lining up and down low, so that's causing a little bit of an issue. But,
Green flag.
Nonetheless, they're getting the green flag, and Kenny Kulakowski on the gas hard. Side by side through turns 1 and 2, Kenny Kulakowski not pulling away from the 4 of Mike Schrader. They're actually battling now when they get to the back straightaway. Schrader trying to hang tough on the high side. I don't know if he's going to have enough momentum to make it work. Oh, look at Steve Thompson, the 67, get loose. Almost slides up into the 4 of Mike Schrader. Guys, if you didn't watch yesterday's broadcast, the 4 of Mike Schrader, I mean, he showed off his drifting skills all the way through turns 3 and 4 yesterday in the Xfinity Series. It was a lot of fun to watch, and a pretty talented driver is Mike Schrader, that number 4 car. So, guys, go ahead and check out the Xfinity Series broadcast, which we did yesterday, if you haven't already, after this race. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really good race as well. Oh, look at the move back there. Sam Maxwell in the 98. Joe Kilburn gets pushed up top way out of the groove, so he's going to lose a couple of spots there. Maxwell going to be the beneficiary of that to move him inside the top 5 now in the number 98 car. Looks like he's getting under attack from Brandon Hartwell in the 103, trying to take away that position. Front 4 cars are single file, however 5th and 6th are battling side by side right now. Hartwell down low, Maxwell up top, and looking in the rearview mirror of those two is Dode Hoskins in the 66. Looks like Hoskins not able to generate enough momentum to get up there and try to make a pass on these guys. However, he's going to fall in line single file, so I think we're single file through our front 10 or so drivers. You're going to have to go all the way back to, I think, Dan Denayer back there in the 30 car, who's running 11th, really, to see anybody who is willing to step out of line there. That's right outside the top 10. Look at this, maybe a pass for 12th going on between Ken Huff and Eddie Jones in the 19 down low. Eddie Jones looks like he's going to make that pass work. And then up front, I think we're going to have a battle for third here in a little bit between Steve Thompson and looked like for a second there that Matthew Gibbs in the 96 was actually catching up on him. However, it was actually Brandon Hartwell in the 103 who was catching up on Matthew Gibbs. Joe Kilburn and Dan Denayer going after it for 10th. Down low is the 30 car, Dan Denayer. He's going to be able to take that spot. So now he sets his sights on the number 87 of Brian Glass. Glass continues to run a little bit higher up on the racetrack than the rest of these guys, and then kind of diamonds it off the corners. He's actually got a really good run on Dode Hoskins now in the 66. Hoskins going to shoot turn 1 a little bit too high. Opens the door for Brian Glass down low in the 87. So now those guys are side by side on the backstretch. Give Brian Glass the advantage now when they head down into turn 3. But a good run off of turn 2 for Dode Hoskins. Generates a lot of momentum into turn 3. I saw Brian Glass slide up a little bit. Looks like he's going to be able to keep it down low on the yellow line. Those guys still battling as they exit turn 4. Hoskins up top in the 66. Ooh, Dan Denayer gets real loose in the number 30 right behind all of that. Looks like he's going to get a position loss from the number 40 car of Joe Kilburn. However, these two have been side by side. Probably the longest we've seen two cars be able to run door to door. And it's the 66 of Dode Hoskins really making the top side work. Matter of fact, he might even be able to clear Brian Glass on the front straightaway right here. Brian Glass comes battling back hard on the inside lane. And they're still side by side, really no clear advantage because Hoskins gets a good run on the back straightaway. However, Brian Glass gets a good run down the front straightaway, so they're able to just keep pulling even with each other. This time when they hit turn 3, I think Glass might be able to clear him on the exit, or maybe not, because the 66 of Dode Hoskins really battling hard on the outside. These guys using up a lot of their race cars really early on in the race. Really going after each other. Brian Glass down low in the 87, and then up top is actually Dode Hoskins in the number 66. Who's running in 7th spot. Looks like he's able to clear Brian Glass that time around. Yeah, Hoskins able to clear Brian Glass, will give Hoskins sole possession of 7th place with no contest. However, now Brian Glass under attack from the number 30 car of Dan Denayer. And give Denayer that spot. So now Brian Glass is down a couple positions here early on in the race. And top 5 still running pretty much single file and not a lot of space between them until you get to our leader. How about Kenny Kulakowski stretching out a 2.5 lead over Mike Schrader in the 4 car. And then after that, from 3rd on back, look at that battle for 4th now. Matthew Gibbs down low, Brandon Hartwell up top in the 103. Hartwell's going to get a pretty good run down into turn 3. It's just going to be a matter of if he can clear Matthew Gibbs, which he actually does. So move Hartwell now into 4th in the number 103 car, and move through the 96 of Matthew Gibbs back into 5th. So keep an eye on Brandon Hartwell, the 103. Yeah, he may be a rookie, but so far he's been looking pretty strong and pretty talented in that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. I see NASCAR guy joining in the chat. How you doing? Missed you for the first ticket, but we're going to get another chance for you guys to earn a ticket here in about 50 or so laps on lap 78. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. However, up front, Kenny Kulakowski stretching out his lead a second and a half over the rest of the field. Now Mike Schrader starting to pull away from third place by about a second with Steve Thompson as well. So Steve Thompson and Brendan Hartwell look like they're about to get battling for third place. You know, I'm actually pretty impressed by the 67 of Steve Thompson. I thought that car, with all the damage he had on the front end and the back end of that race machine, I thought he would have been a little bit off pace, especially since he hasn't even pitted yet. But compared to the rest of the field, that 67 car has been right where he needs to be, running third. Doesn't seem like the damage is affecting him too much anyways, and he's just continuing to go about his business and go about his race. Lap number 30 here. Let's go ahead and take you through the top 10. Your current leader, Kenny Kulakowski, in the number 9 car, actually starting to approach a little bit of lap traffic. He's been the class of the field today, really no contest. He's been able to pull away and stretch his lead out to over a second and a half on second place driver, who is Mike Schrader in the number 4 car. Schrader, been second best in class, you can say, in that 4. Hasn't quite been able to catch Kenny Kulakowski, but also hasn't quite been able to get pass for second place either, so that's where he's running currently. Third place, that's where you're going to find Brendan Hartwell, who just actually passed Steve Thompson. The rookie driver has seemed pretty impressive so far in this race. We're going to have to keep an eye and see how his progress continues for the rest of it, as we got a lot of laps left here at Phoenix, over 120 as a matter of fact. So Hartwell, though, looking strong early on. Pretty fast car too. We're going to have to see if he can catch Mike Schrader and company. Then you got fourth place Steve Thompson in the number 67. That guy's been running inside the top 5 all day. Actually involved in our first caution flag of the race on lap number 1, and he sustained a little bit of damage on that race machine, but however, it doesn't seem like that has affected his speed at all. He's continuing to run inside the top 5 currently. We're running 4th and then 5th place driver. How about Matthew Gibbs in the number 96? Started on pole, got beat to the line by Kenny Kulakowski, hasn't been able to grab the lead since. Actually, kind of been on a slow fall backwards, so he hasn't left the top 5, but then again, he's went from 1st to 5th in the first 33 laps. And then you got 6th place, right behind Matthew Gibbs, is actually going to be Sam Maxwell, who is in the battle with Dan Denaire. We're going to have to see how this one works out. So, looks like it's actually going to be Dan Denaire in 6th place, the number 30 car, making a run towards the front of the field, passing a lot of these guys on the outside, so that shows that there's some serious speed in that number 30 car. He also pitted on our most recent caution. Then you got 7th place Sam Maxwell in the number 98. He has been running inside the top 10 for the most part of the day, running both the top and the bottom, so Sam Maxwell kind of flirting with both lines, trying to see what works best for him. 8th place is where you're going to find Brian Glass. We saw him and Dode Hoskins were battling for a handful of laps there side by side before Hoskins finally got to position. Looks like Brian Glass since then has actually gotten the position back. 9th, that's where you're going to find Dode Hoskins in the 66. One of the only drivers we've seen so far today who was able to run on the high side in a 2x2 battle and make it work. He was sticking with a lot of speed, as we actually had a caution out on the racetrack. Want to see where that is. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might have involved Bruce Pearson again. Oh, what number is that? Maybe the guy right behind Bruce Pearson, Charles Idle. Oof, that was I don't think we can get quite the number we need on that one, but it was a hard hit into the outside wall that generated this actual caution flag here. So all these guys are catching up to the field. I think it was the number 101 actually. So third caution flag of the race is out here on lap number 36. I expect all these guys to be heading down pit road right here. And here they come, led by Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9. See all these drivers heading down pit road right now. Look at all the guys heading into their pit boxes. You got Kenny Kulakowski's in, Mike Schrader, Hartwell, Steve Thompson, Matthew Gibbs is in, Dan Nair, Maxwell. All these guys coming to get 4 fresh tires and also 2 cans of Sunoco fuel into their race cars. Kulakowski is going to be into his pit box. Looks like he stopped on a dime. Matthew Gibbs also in the number 96. Stopped perfectly in his box. 99 is in, the 4 of Mike Schrader. There you see him in the 3rd pit box. He was getting 4 tires on that machine. Nobody taking 2 tires on this stop. Everybody putting on 4 tires, making a few adjustments to their race cars. Looks like Kenny Kulakowski is going to win the race off the pit road. Second, though, is going to be the 103 of Brandon Hartwell. So, Kenny Kulakowski was starting to catch some guys, put him a lap down, but then our caution flag put an end to all of that. Everybody was able to come down on the pit road, make a few adjustments, and also fill up their cars with 2 cans of Sunoco fuel and 4 fresh tires. So, 3rd caution flag of the race is out here at Phoenix. Kenny Kulakowski is your leader. Well, if you're Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9 team, so far you're batting 1,000. Led every single lap so far in this race. Guys, let me know what you guys think of this race so far down below in the chat. Very exciting, very boring. I mean, we've had 3 cautions already, so we've had a little bit of everything, a little bit of action up front. A lot of battling throughout the top 10, though. We've seen a lot of people running up top, a lot of people running on the bottom, trying to make a little bit of everything work. So, I mean, you got the top side with Dowd Hoskins was working quite well there for a couple laps, was watching him. And then you had the bottom side with Dan Nair, who was passing people left and right, coming up through the field. So, I mean, there's been a lot of stories that we can talk about so far in this race. And how about the damage of Steve Thompson, the 67 car? I mean, he's been making that work and hasn't even left the top 5 so far today. So, a bunch of things we can focus on here, but we still have, what, I think we got 118 or so laps left, so it's going to get good. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like the pace car actually has the lights off, and we're going to get set to go back under the green flag here. Mike Grayson, I see you saying you're enjoying the race so far. I am too so far in the booth. Kenny Kulakowski is going to restart first. Restarting second is going to be Brandon Hartwell. Restarting third, how about Mike Schrader in the 4 car? Fourth, Matthew Gibbs. And restarting fifth with all that damage on the 67 is going to be Steve Thompson in the Ride TV Toyota Camry. Restarting sixth, Dan Nair. That 30 car has been coming up through the field pretty easy so far. Restarting 7th is going to be Sam Maxwell down low in the 98. 8th is going to be Brian Glass in the yellow Kodak 87. 9th is going to be Dowd Hoskins. And then restarting 10th, Joe Kilgren in the number 40 car. So pace car is in. These guys coming off of turn 4. Kulakowski gets the green flag, and he's on the gas hard. Kulakowski jumps out to the lead down at the turn 1. Hartwell takes over second, and then you got Mike Schrader taking over third in the 4 car. Meanwhile, battle between Matthew Gibbs and Steve Thompson for fourth, side by side when they enter turn 3. Thompson down low, Matthew Gibbs up top in the 96. Looks like we got another caution out on the racetrack. Oh, big one. They're stacking up back there. I think it's Raymond Castile again in the number 42. Yes, it was indeed. Raymond Castile goes around and brings out our 4th caution flag of the day. We're going to have to see what happened here. It was happening when they were going down into turn number 3. I know that for a fact. And I think he got up into the number 18 of Rick Mason. And then, oh man, we lost our camera here. What happened? Why did we lose our camera? I'm going to rewind it again for you guys. And so they're going down into turn number 3. 42 of Raymond Castile on that neon yellow car on the bottom. Got up into Rick Mason in the 18. They went sliding. I think Mason might have kept it off the wall, though. Look at him getting into the gas. And then Bruce Pearson in the 3 car gets hit. And then the 13 of Sean Bayer also gets involved. The 39 of Dean Ayer. And so a bunch of these guys actually get involved in this caution. Rick Mason goes spinning as well to bring out the 4th yellow flag of the day. And it's because of Raymond Castile and a bunch of other guys getting involved in our 4th caution flag of the race so far. Kenny Kulakowski, though, up front continues to show the way. And it's been a pretty exciting race so far here at Phoenix, guys. in the Old Bastards Racing League. Jimmy Strickland saying it's been pretty good racing so far. It has. Obviously, up front, Kulakowski's pretty much been dominating. It has pretty much been the case. But then from second and third on back, I mean, you've seen a lot of side-by-side racing. You've seen guys like Dode Hoskins and Dan Denayer and Steve Thompson. A lot of these guys have been battling side-by-side for a good chunk of the race so far. So, I mean, that can't go without saying here. And it looks like we still got 2 to go on our caution flag right now. There's going to be a little bit till we get back under the green. So until then, let me go ahead and jump to a quick commercial break, take care of some business. So I will be right back here, and we'll get set for the restart here at Phoenix. What is going on, guys? Jacob Bell here with a very important message. I am now on Patreon. If you guys don't know what Patreon is, basically it's a website where you can become a donor to content creators so that they can continue to create content for you guys. The link to my Patreon is in the description down below, and even if you can't donate, please share it to your Facebook and Twitter pages so that maybe someone else can. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully you'll be clicking on that link down below. Back here at Phoenix in the Old Bastards Racing League Cup Series Camping World 500. They're getting set to restart with about 110, 15 or so laps to go in that range. And Kenny Kulakowski has been the class of the field so far. Nobody's been able to even touch him, and he continues to show the way here. So let's get you set for your restart here. We got 1 to go. Kenny Kulakowski down low on the bottom side of the number 9. Starting second is going to be Mike Schrader. Third, Steve Thompson. Fourth, Matthew Gibbs. And fifth is Dan Denayer, who's moved up into the top 5. Restarting 6th, Sam Maxwell. 7th, Brian Glass. 8th, Dode Hoskins. Restart 9th, Joe Kilburn. And then restarting 10th, the 46 car of Ken Huff. So that's going to be your top 10 when they get the green flag here. Remember, guys, lap 78 is when you can get another ticket for the NASCAR Heat 2 giveaway and the raffle we're having on Monday night. So make sure you guys are here for all of that. Kenny Kulakowski and Mike Schrader are your top 2 as they get through turns number 3 and 4. And the pace car makes that left-hand turn down onto pit road. Kenny Kulakowski has the field in tow, and he gets the green flag. Kulakowski jumps out up front. Battle for second is going to get Mike Schrader into that spot. Third, Steve Thompson. Fourth, you got Matthew Gibbs up high with Dan Denayer looking down low in the number 30. Denayer continues to run on the bottom of Sam Maxwell. So while we got this opportunity, let's go ahead. Let's do an old-fashioned, I don't want to say NASCAR on Fox, but you know how they do the old crank it up here at Phoenix. back at Phoenix. Pretty cool camera shots we were able to go ahead and throw in there. Meanwhile, while we were doing our crank it up, Kenny Kulakowski was cranking it up on the field. He's checked out, man. He is a second and a half ahead of Mike Schrader and all the guys further back on him, and he has been pretty much taking away the rest of the field's hopes and dreams of winning this race. Schrader, though, now falls in line in second. Third, Steve Thompson. Fourth, Matthew Gibbs. How about fifth? Dan Denayer working on Sam Maxwell. Looks like Denayer's actually going to go ahead and take that spot away. So as we reach lap number 54 here, looks like Denayer, wow, Sam Maxwell started to slide a little bit in that number 98 car. I had to check up to avoid hitting the wall back there in 6. I'll look at Brian Glass in the 87. That car is going to get a huge run off the turn 2, so now he's going to try and pass Sam Maxwell, that is, in the 98 up top. Ooh, little... almost made contact there. So 3 and 4, a little wiggle from the 87. Look at that single file line, and they're pretty much bumper to nose. I mean, these guys are like right on top of each other. And now they go from single file to all of a sudden a bunch of guys are too wide up front and in the back of this little pack right here. How about Joe Kilburn in the 40 sitting right in the middle, and Dode Hoskins working on the outside again, that number 66 car. Not the first time we've seen Dode Hoskins on the top side of the racetrack today. He's been finding a way to make the outside lane work for him. Look at Joe Kilburn almost gets hit right there by the number 103 of Brandon Hartwell. Meanwhile, this helps Sam Maxwell check out to a little bit of a lead here. As we go back towards kind of the front of the field, taking a look at your top 5 of today. Kenny Kulakowski is running first. Second, that's where you're going to find Mike Schrader. Third, Steve Thompson. Fourth, Matthew Gibbs. And then running fifth in that number 30 car is Dan Denayer. So that's your top 5 so far today. And we are 58 laps in. Now you see the full field rundown at the top of your screen. You're going to be able to see where your favorite driver is currently running. Up front, if your favorite driver is Kenny Kulakowski, well, you're having a pretty good day. But hey, as I say that, Kulakowski had a lot bigger lead over Mike Schrader than what he does now. Schrader actually in the 4 car starting to close in the gap between him and Kenny Kulakowski. As you take a look at the lap times, Schrader, man, my fault. Kenny Kulakowski's last lap time, this most recent lap, 27:37, and Schrader actually ran a little bit slower that lap than 27. Oh, sorry, actually looking at the wrong thing. Kulakowski ran a 28:39 that last time around, 28:42 that time around for Mike Schrader, so a little bit slower, but not by too much, as Kenny Kulakowski is putting Sean Bayer 1 lap down here in the number 13. He was involved in a crash not too long ago. So, guys, we are actually 18 laps away, or make that 17 laps now, from our ticket giveaway, so make sure you guys are watching till lap 78, because on lap 78 is going to be when you can enter your YouTube username in the chat down below to get an extra ticket into the drawing for the NASCAR V2 brand new copy giveaway. Lap traffic starting to increase a little bit for Kenny Kulakowski. He's got 2 guys who were battling right in front of him. Looks like they've actually figured it all out and made a little bit of a way for Kenny Kulakowski to get around them. Schrader's running back there in second. Third, Steve Thompson. About fourth, Matthew Gibbs and Dan Denayer going after it. Oh, big wiggle that time from Denayer on the exit of turn 2. I think Denayer's trying to learn the top side a little bit there in the 30, trying to make it work for him. there, keeps peeking to the outside of Matthew Gibbs. Can't quite get there. I'm not sure if he's just waiting for the right time to make a pass or what, but hasn't been able to work for him. The inside's been working pretty well for Matthew Gibbs so far, though, the 96. He's running fourth. Let's go ahead and run on board with the 96 of Matthew Gibbs here. If you guys want a chance to win a brand new copy of NASCAR Heat 2, all you guys got to do right now, because they're about to hit lap number 78, comment your YouTube username down below right now, and you can get a brand new copy of NASCAR Heat 2. We are right here on lap number 78. Guys, don't forget, down below in the chat is where you can enter for a free ticket and have a really good shot at winning a brand new copy of NASCAR Heat 2. The drawing is going to be on Monday night, so make sure you guys are subscribed and paying attention to that, as they're coming to put an end right here to lap number 78, and I'm going to take a look at my ticket tallies down below. We got Hanky Pink, I see you down low. I think we got Mike Grayson in it as well. So I see a couple of you guys down in the chat down below, Jimmy Strickland even. So let me go ahead and update my list here. Add 1 to Hanky Pink, add 1 to Jimmy Strickland. Strickland currently leading with 5 tickets, by the way. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Okay, I got 3 people commenting. Alright, and our next ticket giveaway is going to be on lap number 156, guys. So the end of this race is when you're going to have an opportunity to enter a ticket down into the NASCAR Heat 2 giveaway. So make sure you guys are paying attention to the end of this one. And we've got a lot of action we still need to sort through. Kulakowski has jumped out to a 2.1 second lead. Really, I've seen it even stretch to almost 3 seconds. Schrader kind of closing the gap and managing his distance to the leader, but so far, Kulakowski has had no competition in that number 9 car, and he has been dominant. And I want you guys to make sure you're subscribed down below so that you can check out the giveaway tomorrow night. We're going to be doing it during the JoinAPS.com Truck Series. Those guys are going to be at Dover, so it's going to be quite a fun race. And we got a NASCAR Heat 2 to give away, and also 3 more tickets for the raffle. So make sure you guys are there to check that one out. And, you know, I'm wondering when these pit stops are going to be, because Kulakowski has been running up front. I mean, these guys pitted just like 50 laps ago, I think, was the last time these guys came down pit road. So I know they got to be thinking about pit stops in the near future here. Another thing Mike Schrader has to be thinking about is Dan Denayer. That 30 car has really started to reel in the 4 of Mike Schrader. So Denayer has a lot of speed, and he's got that car hooked up at the right time. So one thing I want to talk about as well is we're looking at Dan Denayer. How about the damage on Steve Thompson? Wow, look at the lap cars. We almost had a 3-wide battle there for a second. The damage on Steve Thompson has not seemed to affect that car whatsoever. He has been inside the top 5 the whole race, and that car has damage on the front, damage on the rear. He warranted our first yellow flag, so I mean, it was no little contact. The 67 car has pretty much, Steve Thompson has pretty much not been affected at all by the damage, so a lot of speed in that race car, and each time he's pitted, he hasn't stayed on pit road for an extended period of time, getting it fixed or anything like that. It's just been 4 tires and he's been out. Speaking of pit road, I'm thinking these guys have to be coming down to it to get some fuel in their race cars and 4 fresh tires. But, you know, Denayer really starting to close in the gap between him and Mike Schrader for second. Denayer looked like he was going to make a move towards the top, didn't have enough momentum to keep it rolling on the top side of the racetrack. However, it looks like the 4 Mike Schrader been working the bottom for the most part of the race, and I think as the run goes on, you guys start, you kind of want to start moving towards the top side of the racetrack, and that just hasn't been the case for a lot of these guys, with the exception of Dan Denayer, who's been making the outside lane work. We saw Dode Hoskins in the 66, also another one of those guys making the outside lane work. And And right here, as I say that, looks like the 30 of Denayer is going to be able to get by the 4 of Mike Schrader, or at least draw even with him on the entrance of turn number 1. Denayer lost the track position he had compared to Mike Schrader. And now it looks like he's going to be able to make a pass down low. So move Denayer into second. I want to see if he's going to be able to hunt down Mike Schrader in the 4, because that car seems like he's got a lot of speed in it. And he's just been driving towards the front, man. It started all the way back there in the 11th spot, and now he's moved his way all the way into second. So that 30 car has a lot of speed. And if I was Denayer right now, one way you could definitely gain a lot of track position on Kenny Kulakowski, how about pitting early? I would bring it in, maybe 5 laps earlier than Kenny Kulakowski and try to get some fresh tires and get back on the racetrack, try to make up as much time as you can. Then before you know it, you're on the back bumper of the 9 car, which is a pretty good, spot to be, especially with the speed you've seen Kenny Kulakowski having. So this has by far been our longest green flag run of the race, but let's take a look at our race summary down below. How about Kenny Kulakowski, your leader? They have 90 laps complete of our scheduled 156. 0 lead changes, but how about 4 cautions for 14 laps? So I think the real interesting thing you want to note there is 0 lead changes. I think that's pretty impressive when you're talking about competition in this race. And it hasn't been easy at all for Kenny Kulakowski. It hasn't been easy at all for the rest of the field. It's been kind of easy for Kenny Kulakowski. He's just checked out and hasn't looked back ever since then. So look who's moving.
Right, man.
Oh, we got a caution out on the race. Oh, it's Steve Thompson in the 67 car. How about Steve Thompson? I was wondering what was happening because I saw Sam Maxwell. And I think the 50 of Mateus Siegel right there, yeah, he actually gets into the back of the 67 of Steve Thompson. And he goes sliding into turns number 3 and 4, hits the outside wall, comes down pretty harsh. I'm shocked he didn't clip anybody there. He got pretty close. But nonetheless, he actually brought out our 5th caution of the race. And a tough break right there for Steve Thompson. And it looks like he's also going to be entering a closed pit, so that thing's definitely going to have a lot of damage. As I'm getting a Skype call out of nowhere there. It's my fault. Oh, my fault. So up front, the leaders are actually coming down pit road right now, led by Kenny Kulakowski. Dan Denayer's in, Mike Schrader, Sam Maxwell, and Mateus Siegel. All these guys coming to get 4 fresh tires on their race machines. I want to see how the pit stops are going to be for Denayer and for Kenny Kulakowski and these guys. Denayer stops in his box cleanly. Kenny Kulakowski looks like he stops in his box cleanly as well. So we'll have to see if there's any real advantage to be made here. I know Denayer is going to be getting out of his box pretty soon. 4 fresh tires on that machine. Nobody taking 2 tires. Everybody's taking 4 tires. Looks like Denayer is going to come out second. Kenny Kulakowski comes out third. Oh, wow. Mike Schrader, Sam Maxwell, Mateus Siegel, Steve Thompson. I don't think Steve Thompson's very happy with Mateus Siegel right now. Mateus Siegel kind of roughed him up on that yellow flag there, got into the rear end of him. Oh, wow, Steve Thompson's actually going to turn around the number 50 of Mateus Siegel. How about that? Wow. I want to take another look at that. We saw Steve Thompson was all over the back bumper of Mateus Siegel. I think the emotions may have just gotten the best of Steve Thompson. This is under the yellow flag. And he just gets into the back of the 50 of Mateus Siegel, kind of uncalled for there by Steve Thompson. And then, gives him another shot into the front of that race car. So, this is under yellow flag, guys. This isn't a separate caution. This is our pace laps here. I think the emotions got the best of Steve Thompson right there in the 67 car. A lot of damage on that race car now, too. it looks like the 67 of Steve Thompson actually just goes ahead and parks his car. It's a tough break for Steve Thompson. I'm not sure what just happened, and the emotions really boiled over on him there. Which, I mean, it's been a long race, a long green flag run. You know, it's never easy to stay calm, and when things like that happen, you know, it really sucks. Takes him out of the race. But you got Kenny Kulakowski and Dan Denayer going to restart on the front row. Starting third, Mike Schrader. Fourth, Sam Maxwell. Fifth is Matthew Gibbs. Sixth, Brandon Hartwell. Restarting seventh is going to be Joe Kilburn. Eighth, well, it's supposed to be Mateus Siegel. I don't think that's going to happen, so it's going to be Dode Hoskins. Ninth, Brian Glass. And 10th is going to be Ken Huff. Pace car is in. Kenny Kulakowski up front. Leads him down. Green flag is out. He's on the gas, and so is Dan Denayer in second. I want to see what Denayer can do. This is the closest he's been to the lead all day long, and look at that. He's going to try to make the outside work for him down in turns 1 and 2. Looks like for the first time today, we might have a leader other than Kenny Kulakowski, and we do. The 30 of Dan Denayer is going to take the top spot as they enter down into turn 3. So move Denayer into first. How about the battle for second? Sam Maxwell is actually going to beat Kenny Kulakowski to the stripe. I don't know if it's going to stay that way for long, but possibly Kulakowski can go from being the dominant car up front to dropping back to third. But as I say that, he's firing back on the inside line, and he's going to take sole possession of second. Then you got Mike Schrader and Brandon Hartwell battling further back in the field. How about Matthew Gibbs in the 96 as well? So look at Dan Denayer, the 30 car who has been working his stuff all day long. Finally gets a shot at the lead, and he doesn't let it go to waste. He actually takes over the top spot. New leader at Phoenix, and it's the 30 of Dan Denayer. And he is checking out on the field. I mean, he's almost got a second lead already in a short period of time over Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9 car. Denayer runs first. Second, that's going to be Kenny Kulakowski. How about third, Sam Maxwell in the 98. Fourth, Brandon Hartwell, and then rounding out your top 5 is Mike Schrader in 5th. Oh, looks like Joe Kilburn in the 40 might have gotten into the outside wall there on the exit of turn number 2. When they hit the stripe here, we're going to have 57 laps left to go in the race. Battle for fourth looks like it's starting to form up between Brandon Hartwell and Mike Schrader down low. Oh, Kilburn in the wall again in the 40. Got to the outside wall and almost looked like Brian Glass in the 87 may have gotten into the back of him after that. Yeah, you see some right front damage on the 40 of Joe Kilburn. Schrader, Hartwell, and Maxwell start to fall in line nose to tail. Kulakowski, though, starting to reel in the 30 of Dan Denayer up front for the lead. 55 laps left here at Phoenix. It has been a day dominated by the Chevys, but then you look back to third and you got the Ford of Sam Maxwell. Not really too many Toyotas up front. It was the 67 of Steve Thompson, but I think the emotions got the best of him, and I think he's pretty much parked his car for the rest of the race. So how about Chevy, Ford, and maybe Toyota and Matthew Gibbs, who moves into 5th now over Brandon Hartwell. So Matthew Gibbs right there in the 96 is going to be our first Toyota in the field, and he's actually going to be running in 5th. Meanwhile, these two have checked out to a big gap over Sam Maxwell. Dan Denayer with over a half-second lead over Kenny Kulakowski, and then a 2.5-second lead on third place Sam Maxwell in the 98. Sam's not one of those guys we have talked about too much today. I mean, all of a sudden we've been talking about Dan Denayer and Kenny Kulakowski, Mike Schrader, Steve Thompson. Then out of nowhere, you look at third, and Sam Maxwell in the 98 car is up there. So it's been a pretty good drive up towards the front of him. Got a little bit of damage on that race car. It looks like he scraped the outside wall a couple times or so, but nothing that he can't keep moving on with. I mean, you saw the damage that Steve Thompson had, and he was still running inside the top 5. So I don't think this track's the damage is going to hinder you as much as it would on the bigger tracks. Of course, Phoenix only being a 1-mile racetrack. As we take a look at our track facts here, 1.013 miles and 4 corners, of course, altitude about 957 feet. As you look at the weather for this race, I mean, it couldn't be better. You got 73 degrees in the air, track temp right at 100 degrees, just below it, as a matter of fact. Humidity 21% in the forecast, sunny skies here in Phoenix, so couldn't have better weather for this race, and couldn't have better weather for Dan Denaire. When you ride on board with him, nobody's out in front of him. Not a lot of side-by-side racing really going on anywhere through the top 10. These guys are pretty much followed in line, single file. I mean, it looks like your old-fashioned single file pace laps almost. I mean, these guys not really battling anywhere throughout the field. So you look at Dode Hoskins running inside the top 10. One of the only drivers, with the exception of Dan Denaire, that we've really seen make the outside lane work really well for him. And I mean, he was able to hold on to the top side for a lot of laps, so we're gonna have to see if that comes into play for Dode Hoskins and brings an advantage for that 66 team, as we got 50 laps to go here at Phoenix. Thought Bruce Pearson and John Hastings were starting to start the battle back there. Looks like they've decided not to as they ride single file. A lot of throwback paint schemes in this series as well, by the way. But Sam Maxwell running third right now. Looks like he's going to get under attack from Mike Schrader in just a handful of laps. Got Schrader running fourth. Hartwell, how about running out the top 5? Let's take a look in the bottom left of your screen. Got Dan Denaire, Kenny Kulakowski, Sam Maxwell, Mike Schrader, and then Brandon Hartwell running all inside your top 5 so far tonight. Or so far this morning, I should say, as we're getting ready to move on into the end of this race. We only got 47 laps left, and also we got another ticket giveaway at the end of this race. When the race is over, don't forget to comment your YouTube username down below, and you will get one raffle ticket to enter into our NASCAR Heat 2 giveaway. And you know, it's definitely a good opportunity for you guys, so make sure you guys are paying attention and watching and following along in the race. I see Larson 42 fan. Hey man, just saw your chat down below. Appreciate you stopping by, checking out the Old Bastards Racing League at Phoenix. Larson 42 fan, by the way, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we are actually giving away a copy of NASCAR Heat 2 tomorrow night. And if you want a ticket into that contest, make sure all you got to do is at the end of this race, when they reach the start-finish line to conclude it, just comment your YouTube username down below and you will get a raffle ticket into our NASCAR Heat 2 giveaway, and the winner will be chosen from those raffle tickets on Monday night. So make sure you're subscribed and following along to the end of this one, and definitely going to have a lot of exciting action. We've already seen Tempers boil over for Steve Thompson. You know, he got into the, Mateus Siegel got into the back of Steve Thompson under green flag, and put Steve Thompson, you know, around into the fence, which brought out the yellow flag, and then under that yellow flag, Steve Thompson came out onto the racetrack, actually got into the back of Mateus Siegel, roughed him up, actually even turned him around, and then go ahead and got parked for the rest of the race. So tough break for Steve Thompson there, but you know, it's just what happens here when the tempers start to boil over, especially in Phoenix. It's kind of hot outside, so tempers boil over a little bit easier when the temperatures rise. Thought I saw Kenny Kulakowski starting to close in on Dan Denaire a little bit for the top spot. Over a half second back still though, so a lot of work left for these guys if they want to try to catch the 30 car. Meanwhile, Denayer continues to show the way. Kulakowski's running second. Not a lot of side-by-side racing. At least not yet. You got Brian Glass in the 87 car with Joe Kilburn right behind him in the 40. Jimmy Strickland saying he wants an in-car shot from the 87 of Brian Glass. So we'll go ahead and make that happen right now, actually. So that was the 88 of Brian Glass, who's actually running in 7th place right now, just outside the top 5, trying to make something happen for that team. He's been inside the top 10 for pretty much the whole race, though. Up front, Kenny Kulakowski has really closed in the gap on Dan Denayer. We might have a battle for the lead here in just a few laps, but starting to run out of time when they hit the stripe. There's only going to be 37 laps to go here at Phoenix. It's been a long race, but there's certainly been a lot of action, a lot of excitement, some drama even when we look back at Steve Thompson. So we're going to have to see how this race plays out. But then you look at the top 2. Look at the gap from Kenny Kulakowski and Dan Denayer all the way back to 3rd place Sam Maxwell. I mean, you got a 4-second lead if you're talking from Dan Denayer. So big gap back there. And Kulakowski dominated the first 95 laps of the race. And then ever since Dan Denayer was able to pass him on our most recent restart, he hasn't touched the lead since. As a matter of fact, this is the closest he has been to getting the lead back. But Kulakowski not quite able to do so just yet. Denayer continues to show the way in the 30. Take a look at your running order at the top of the screen there. A couple of notable names missing, like Steve Thompson is at 67, Mateus Siegel, a lot of these guys out of the race. Siegel's actually still in the race. Steve Thompson, though, going to finish 23rd in the garage. He was taken out by a couple of different things. He had a couple wrecks and also I don't know how to describe it. He got into the back of Mateus Siegel under a yellow flag. We'll just say that. So he is going to finish this race 23rd. Meanwhile, it's starting to get a little bit closer up front, man. Every couple of laps or so, it seems like Kulakowski reels in Denayer, gets on the back bumper, and then Denayer starts to pull back away and it starts to gap Kulakowski a little bit. It's kind of a cat and mouse game right now. We had 30 drivers in this race in the OBRL, guys, so the Cup Series, one of the most exciting series, one of the most competitive series as well. If you guys want to find out more about the Old Bastards Racing League, definitely check them out. It's obrl.racing. That's their website. They got a Truck Series, Xfinity Series, Cup Series. I think they're starting the ARCA Series back up. Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I mean, really convenient times, and also a really fun group of guys and a good group of racers. So it's definitely a good league to check out if you guys are looking to get into iRacing, and definitely a good experience. So make sure you guys check them out. Again, that's obrl.racing, and you can find out more info there, and definitely hook up with a couple of these guys. And they even have a driving school that they do, driver profiles. So when you sign up for the league and you're on the website, one of the things they like is to have a driver profile set up for you. So you submit some information to them. They'll go ahead and post it on the website so that your friends can see it, your families can see it, other people checking out the league can see it. You know, it's a pretty good opportunity for the racers. And also they do a driving school. I think Mike Schrader is one of the guys that hosts that. They'll go ahead and help you, give you some tips on racing, especially on iRacing, and just a couple setup things like that. So it's definitely a cool series. Make sure you guys check them out. A lot of fun, a lot of good racing as well. And as you can see here, pretty competitive because Dan Denayer and Kenny Kulakowski has checked out on the rest of the field. So if you guys want to run in the Cup Series, you got to make sure you have the right hook up here, because these guys are running really fast. And it's definitely not an easy series at all. But then again, they do have the ARCA series for some newer guys, and Truck series, Xfinity series, a bunch of other places. So you can definitely find your fit here in the OBRL. A lot of these guys have already found their fit. Dan Denayer being one of them. When he hits the stripes, how about 29 laps to go here at Phoenix for Dan Denayer if he wants to hold on to capture the victory. Started all the way back in 11th, and he has muscled his way to the front, and he has taken advantage of the lead. And right now, he's led 32 laps. And if he wants to win this race, he's going to hope to lead 29 more. That's how many they have left here at Phoenix. Been picking up some lap traffic and putting them down quite easily. Dan Denayer's running first. Second, Kenny Kulakowski. You look back to third, Sam Maxwell all the way back there. Fourth is Mike Schrader. And then rounding out your top five, Brandon Hartwell. Sixth, Matthew Gibbs as they exit turn number 4. Running 7th, going to be Brian Glass in the 87. 8th, Joe Kilburn in the 40. How about 9th, Dode Hoskins? And then running 10th, down low on him, is actually John Hastings. 11th, or 12th, that is Steve Cunningham. 13th, Bruce Pearson. 14th, Bill Rigdon, 1 lap down. 15th, Mateus Siegel, also 1 lap down. 16th, Sean Bayer, it looks like he's 2 laps down. 17th, Dean Ayer, a couple laps down as well. 18th, Patrick Milligan, 3 laps down. 19th, 4 laps down, Ed Carpenter. 20th, 4 laps down, Charles Idle. 21st, 9 laps down, is Rick Mason. 22nd, Robert Smith, 19 laps down. 23rd, Dave Lejeune, 30 laps down. And then that's all the drivers left on the racetrack. As Steve Thompson's going to end up in the garage 24th as they race here at Phoenix. 26 laps left here. Find out who our victor is going to be. Denayer and Kulakowski have checked out to a huge advantage over the rest of the field. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Dan Denayer in the number 30 car. And Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9.
Alright, man, caution is out.
Oh, we got a caution out on the racetrack. That's going to change a lot. I think it might have involved the 46 of Ken Huff. Looks like he was involved in that latest caution, I believe. Maybe just a little solo slide for him. But this is going to create a very interesting situation now for these leaders. With 23 laps to go, do you bring it down pit road or not? So here they come. Looks like the leaders are actually coming down pit road right now as we speak. Denayer leads the field down on the pit road. And it looks like pretty much all the leaders coming in right now. So as you guys take a look down at your chat down below, I posted a kind of little quick poll for you guys watching. I said we got a caution with 23 laps to go. Who's your pick to win it? Do you want the 9 of Kenny Kulakowski, the 30 of Dan Denayer, the 98 of Sam Maxwell, or the 4 of Mike Schrader? Who are you guys picking to win the race? Because they're going to restart with less than 20 laps to go. So go ahead and answer the poll question down below. Denayer is out of his pit box quite quickly, actually. Kulakowski's going to come out second, third, Sam Maxwell fourth, Mike Schrader. So that's your top 4. See J.R. Hager in the chat down below picking Mike Schrader to win. Hager, remember, we are giving away a couple of raffle tickets, so at the end of this race, when they cross the start-finish line, all you got to do is comment your username down below, and you'll get a raffle ticket for the possibility of winning a copy of, a brand new copy, that is, of NASCAR Heat 2. So make sure you guys are following along for that as we're getting set to restart here. It has been a quite exciting race at Phoenix. Kenny Kulakowski dominated the first part of the race. Dan Denayer took over the lead on a restart, the latest restart we had, and hasn't looked back since. But now everybody's on fresh tires, so we're kind of re-racking them and resetting them. And we got, when they get the start-finish line for the green flag, I think we're going to have 19 laps to go. So it's going to be a pretty exciting end to this race. So guys, remember the poll down below. Dan Denayer, Kenny Kulakowski, Sam Maxwell, or Mike Schrader. Who's your pick to win when they get set to restart here? Jimmy Strickland thinks it's going to be Dan Denayer, only if he doesn't spin the tires on the restart. Not a bad pick right there. Denayer and Kulakowski have seemed to kind of been the class of the field, but you never know what can happen. You never know. We've seen broadcasts here where there's been a guy we have not mentioned once during the entire race, and all of a sudden he makes a 3-wide pass with 3 to go and wins the race. So anything can happen, guys. Definitely don't forget to subscribe down below and make sure you're checking out the broadcast. We got Mike Grayson picking Kulakowski. So we got a pick for Schrader, a pick for Kulakowski, and a pick for Dan Denayer. Everybody's kind of split on the decision, but we're going to go ahead and restart here. How about Dan Denayer restarting on the outside lane? Restarting second is going to be Kenny Kulakowski down low. Restarting third, Sam Maxwell. Restarting fourth, Mike Schrader. Restarting fifth, Matthew Gibbs. Sixth, Brandon Hartwell. Seventh is going to be Brian Glass. 8th is going to be Joe Kilburn. 9th, Dote Hoskins. And restarting 10th, the 46 car of Ken Huff. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This could possibly be the final restart of the day. 20 laps left here at Phoenix. All these drivers going for the win. The pace car is going to pull off. The field's going to be left in the hands of Dan Denayer up top. He chose the outside lane. The pace car is in. Green flag is out. Denayer gets a pretty good jump. He's able to check out to a nice advantage over Kenny Kulakowski. He falls in line down low. Or it actually looks like he's going to hang up top. That's going to open the door down low for Kenny Kulakowski in the 9 car. Oh, Kulakowski got a little bit loose right there. So now he's going to just go ahead and follow in line in second. Maxwell falls in line in third. Fourth, Schrader, and then fifth is up for grabs. You got Mike Schrader running fourth. Matthew Gibbs was running fifth, also with Brandon Hartwell. Looks like those guys were battling quite hard on the exit of turn 4 right there. They're trying not to let Dan Denayer and Kenny Kulakowski get away, but Maxwell pushing as hard as he can in that number 98 car. Dan Denayer also trying to hold off Kenny Kulakowski in the number 9 when they hit the stripe. 17 laps to go. A day where a Chevy has led every single lap between Dan Denayer and Kenny Kulakowski. Looks like it's going to continue to be dominated by those two drivers. Meanwhile, the Fords of Mike Schrader and Sam Maxwell now battling for third place. Schrader trying to make his way towards the front, working on third place right now. I don't think think this is going to help their cause to try to win the race because of these two battles side by side. Oh, we got another caution out on the racetrack. Looks like it was way further back in the pack. Oh, I think it's a 78 car. Yeah, it looked like it was a 78 of Charles Idle, perhaps. Oh, yeah, got into the back of Dean Ayer right there, the 39. So that's what brings out another caution here at Phoenix. So tough break for Charles Idle in the 78. Also a tough break for Dean Ayer in the number 39 car. So we get to do it all again. Looks like we're going to have another restart here at Phoenix. I don't know if these guys are going to pit or not. I don't think they will. I think if you're outside the top 10, maybe you consider coming down pit road and getting fresh tires. But besides that, I think everybody's pretty much going to stay out on the racetrack. Yeah, none of these guys bringing it down pit road in the top 5. Yeah, it looks like our first guy on pit road is actually going to be Mateus Siegel back there on 14th. So none of the front runners decide to bring it out pit road. They all decide to stay out on the racetrack, led by Dan Denayer. Oh man, the tensions are starting to build here at Phoenix. These guys know they're going to want to go for the win, so I'm going to pose the same question again. They're going to restart, I think, this time with like 11 laps to go. So, who's your pick to win now with 11 to go? Is it still Dan Denayer? Is it Kenny Kulakowski in the 9? Is it Sam Maxwell in the 98? Or is it Mike Schrader in the 4? And between those 4 drivers, or even someone else, you can go ahead and name someone separate if you feel that that guy is going to win the race. Let me know. Who do you think is going to end up in victory lane? From the broadcast booth right now, if I had to pick between these drivers, I'm liking the number 9 of Kenny Kulakowski. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Kulakowski has a lot of speed in that race car. I also think he has the potential to make a move on Dan Denayer and try to steal it from him. So I'm picking the number 9 of Kenny Kulakowski. But then again, my question is to you guys. Who's winning this race if you had to pick? And we see Mike Grayson's going to go ahead and stick with his pick of Kenny Kulakowski. Earlier on, J.R. Hager and Jimmy Strickland. Hager picked the 4 of Mike Schrader. Strickland picked the 30 of Dan Denayer. So, all the picks were split. Looks like Grayson's going to go ahead. Mike Grayson's going to stick with Kenny Kulakowski as his pick. You see these guys warming up the tires down below. Also, remember, when the race is over, as soon as they cross the start-finish line on that last lap, you guys can comment your YouTube username for a ticket into our raffle for our giveaway of NASCAR Heat 2. Jimmy Strickland doesn't think anybody can compete with Dan Denayer. He thinks Dan Denayer is going to go ahead and get the victory quite easily. And I think another thing that's interesting to watch, Denayer, the leader, chose the outside lane last restart. This restart, he picks the bottom. So a little different strategy call for Dan Denayer. Maybe he learned something when he restarted on the top side, but let's re-rack him. You got Dan Denayer restarting first. Kenny Kulakowski is going to restart second in the number 9 car. Third, Sam Maxwell, and then fourth is Mike Schrader. Restarting fifth, how about Brandon Hartwell in the 103? Sixth is going to be Brian Glass. Seventh, Matthew Gibbs in the 96. Restarting eighth, Joe Kilbert in the 40. Restarting ninth, Dode Hoskins, and restarting in the final spot in the top 10, John Hastings in the 32. So that's how they're going to get set to get the green flag here. Those 10 drivers all going to be gunning for the win. Dan Denayer right now has the lead. Kenny Kulakowski wants it. The rest of the field wants it. We're going to have to see how it all plays out here when we get set to go green. Pace car makes the hard left-hand corner, or hard left-hand turn, possibly for the final time today on the pit road. Green flag is out. Denayer is on the gas hard, and Kenny Kulakowski trying to stick with him on the outside. How about Sam Maxwell from third? He got a pretty good restart in the 98 car. It looks like he actually backs out of it, though. And he's going to start falling back. Kulakowski now is going to have to chase down Dan Denayer. Denayer checks out in front, though. Oh, Kenny Kulakowski Wiggled big time getting down into the corner. I think he might have missed his mark there. That's going to cost him a lot of track time. Oh, we got another caution out. Oh, it looks like we had a car spinning down low trying to get the number on that. Oh, big one. Sean Bayer was involved. Also, the 86 I see is involved. So let me go ahead. I think it's the 86 of Steve Cunningham. Oh, getting down to the turn 3 right there on the left side of your screen. You see the 32 of John Hastings and the 3 of Bruce Pearson kind of get into each other. Then the 86 of Steve Cunningham. Really no place for that guy to go. It looked like the 32 and the 3 actually might have saved it. Comes down right in front of the 50 of Matthias Siegel. Man, Matthias Siegel has had a really rough day. And he gets clipped right there, right in front of the 13 of Sean Bayer. Oh, look at the 99. Milligan hard hit into the outside wall on that race car. Bayer goes sliding in the number 13. A bunch of other guys involved. Looks like the 59 is going to be able to squeak through, right through the middle. But we got another caution here at Phoenix. Tough break for Steve Cunningham back there in the 14th spot, that 86 car. Involved in a caution flag here towards the end of the race. None of our leaders decided to come down pit road to get 4 fresh tires. Everybody stayed out on the racetrack inside the top 5 or so. So Denayer continues to show the way. And Kenny Kulakowski, Sam Maxwell, Mike Schrader, actually Mike Schrader back in 5th. Brandon Hartwell moves into 4th. That's your top 5. It's going to be tough for these guys to try to find a way to get around the 30 of Dan Denayer or the 9 of Kenny Kulakowski. Those two have been the class of the field all day long. Nobody's even had anything for them. So, we're getting set. We got 2 to go till we get the green flag. So we're going to have, I think, a total of 6 laps of green flag racing to decide the winner. So it's pretty much going to be a quick little shootout till the end. I want to remind you guys in the description down below, you guys see a link to something called Patreon. Patreon's where you guys can actually donate to my channel so that I can keep doing all these broadcasts because, you know, I really like doing them and it's a lot of fun. I think you guys enjoy them. I enjoy them. And I like to go back and rewatch them. I know the leagues like to go back and rewatch them, a lot of the drivers. So if you guys want to donate, help me out, keep doing the broadcast, you know, I'd really, really appreciate it. Kind of need as much help as I can get right now, so it'd be awesome if I could get some of you guys on the Patreon gang down below. You guys also, every time you donate, you get a specific reward sent to you guys, whether it's a shout out in the next video, whether it's you know, a t-shirt. I got a bunch of things listed on my Patreon that you guys can get just by donating to my channel. So, you know, that would be awesome if you guys can do that. I would actually appreciate it a ton. And, you know, I look forward to some of you guys helping me out. It would mean a lot. Dan Denayer, though, it would mean a lot if he could end up in victory lane. We got 1 to go till we get to green flag. We'll take you through your restart order. Dan Denayer is going to restart first. Restarting second, Kenny Kulakowski. Restarting third is going to be Sam Maxwell. 4th, Brandon Hartwell. 5th, Mike Schrader. And then 6th is going to be Matthew Gibbs. Restarting 7th, Brian Glass. Restarting 8th, Joel Kilburn. 9th, Dode Hoskins. And then 10th, John Hastings. Restarting 11th is going to be Ken Huff. 12th is going to be Bruce Pearson. 13th, Steve Cunningham. 14th, Sean Bayer. And then 15th is going to be Matthias Siegel in the number 50 car. He's trying to catch up to the pack. He's had a rough day. Dan Denayer, Kenny Kulakowski, your first row, going to lead them to the green flag. The pace car is going to be in for the final time today. Dan Denayer, Kenny Kulakowski, your front row, lead them down to the green flag for the final time today. Green flag is out. Dan Denayer, Kenny Kulakowski going for the win. Denayer gets a really, really nice restart. He's able to jump in front all by himself. Kulakowski follows suit. Maxwell now falls back into the clutches of Mike Schrader and Hartwell. Look at Hartwell. He goes sliding, actually saves it down there on the apron. What a save by Brandon Hartwell in the 103, not bringing out a caution. It stacks him up 3 wide behind them, though, as Hartwell really starts to fall back. Maxwell moves into 3rd. 2nd, Kenny Kulakowski up front, though. 5 laps to go for Dan Denayer. Hartwell was running such a good race inside the top 5, and now he's fallen outside the top 10 because he got hit by the number 4. And Mike Schrader went sideways down the back straightaway. He was able to save it, though, from causing a caution and ending the race. But right now, Dan Denayer looking for any reason to end the race. He's out front. Kulakowski's going to try to reel him in. Third is going to be Maxwell. Fourth, how about Matthew Gibbs in fifth? Mike Schrader in the number 4 car. Oh, big wiggle. Dan Denayer got really loose on the exit of turn 2 right there. That car went sideways, which allowed Kenny Kulakowski to close in quite a bit. He's going to be looking to attack and try to take home the win as they go through turns 3 and 4 at the stripe. 3 laps to go. Green flag racing. Kulakowski that time slides off turn 4. Into turn 1. This is where Dan Denayer got loose last time. Oh, caution is out. Oh, big one, it looks like. John Hastings involved. Oh, and the 103 looks like, too. So I think it was the number 103. Where's he at? Brandon Hartwell getting into the corner. Oh, yeah, he got hit from the rear end of the 86 of Steve Cunningham. Oh, wow, yeah, Sam Maxwell gets into it. So does Mike Schrader, John Hastings, Bruce Pearson. All these guys are piling in right now. Tough break for a lot of these guys like Sam Maxwell, who was running so well during the race. And now gets caught up in a mess at the end of it. Oh, look at Sam Maxwell. A lot of smoke pouring out of that car, too. Tough break, big caution, but that's actually going to end the race. So how about this? Dan Denayer is going to end up your victor. I mean, all things considered, unless there's some kind of miracle that happens where his car blows up or something crazy like that. But yeah, Dan Denayer is going to come home first. Second is going to be Kulakowski, and third is going to be Matthew Gibbs. So right now, guys, they're getting ready to cross the start-finish line to take the white flag. So right here is your chance. If you want to enter the raffle for a brand new copy of NASCAR Heat 2, brand new game will be sent to you. Right here is your chance to get a ticket for that. Go ahead, comment your YouTube username down below right now if you want a ticket for the raffle, and you can win a chance, or you can win a NASCAR Heat 2 copy of the game, brand new, hasn't even been touched, and it can be sent straight to you guys. Right now is your chance. Comment your YouTube username down below for one ticket. So Dan Denayer in the number 30 car is going to end up in victory lane. The number 9 of Kenny Kulakowski is going to come home second, and the number 96 of Sam Maxwell, actually, I thought it might be getting third, but maybe not. So we got Jimmy Strickland in. We got, looks like Mike Grayson's in as well. We got Teresa Cahill. I'm sorry if I messed up your last name right there. But Dan Denayer is going to go ahead and get the victory here at Phoenix. So congratulations to that number 30 team. Let me write these down. We got Strickland, Grayson, and Teresa Cahill. Add that. Thank you guys for following along with the live stream, by the way. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you a copy of NASCAR Heat 2 as well. So there we go. It is all over with. Dan Denayer comes home with a victor as we go through a really quick results. Dan Denayer first. Second was Kenny Kulakowski. Finishing third, Matthew Gibbs. Fourth was Joel Kilburn. How about rounding out your top 5? Brian Glass in the 87. Sixth, David Hoskins. Finishing 7th, Mike Schrader. 8th, Ken Huff. 9th, Brandon Hartwell. And finishing 10th, Bruce Pearson. Finishing 11th, Steve Cunningham. Finishing 12th, Sam Maxwell. 13th was John Hastings. 14th, Matthias Siegel. 15th, Bill Rigdon. 16th, Sean Bayer. 17th, Dean Ayer. 18th, Ed Carpenter Jr. 19th, Charles Idle. And then finishing 20th, Patrick Milligan. Finishing 21st, Rick Mason. 22nd, Robert Smith. Finishing 23rd, Dave Leisure. 24th, Steve Thompson. 25th, Raymond Castile. 26th, Craig Hawkins. 27th, Eddie Jones. 28th, Brian Wire. 29th, John Waters. And 30th, Ted Quinzel. So that's your finishing order. Let's go ahead and get some interviews in real quick. Let's see if we can grab the number 96 of Matthew Gibbs. Hey, Matthew Gibbs, it's Jacob Bell up in the booth. You got a copy? Matthew Gibbs, you got a copy? You know what's crazy? Every time I try to interview Matthew Gibbs, something seems to not work. And he always asks me, he said, man, you never interview me. I said, I try every time. Something's not going right with Matthew Gibbs radio communications right now, but that's okay. I think we're going to get a chance to talk to Kenny. Kenny Kulakowski, you got a copy? Well, goodness gracious. Kenny Kulakowski, you got a copy? Shake a bell in the booth. I don't think we were able to get Kenny Kulakowski either, so last try, we're going to try to get Dan Denayer, our race winner. Hopefully we can talk to him as he's getting ready to burn it down, it looks like. Dan Denayer, it's Shake a Bell up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, crazy race. You were able to come home as the victor. You and Kenny seem to be the class of the field. Talk us through your race a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't looking forward to this event, and so I'm really not that good here, and so I had a poor qualifying run. I think I started 11th, and once the race started going, I started getting more comfortable and realized that I was probably one of the fastest guys. So I just kind of worked my way through traffic, and once I got up there on the outside and for that restart, I was able to take the lead, and I realized that heck, I was able to maintain, and as long as I didn't make a mistake, I should be able to hold them off, and that's the way it turned out.
Yeah, we were watching you. You were really able to actually... I mean, you started back there in 11th, and we saw you coming up through the field, and we could see you were one of the fastest cars in the race. Is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to? Anyone you want to thank? I mean, the floor is yours right now.
Just all the league administrators putting this together, and my company I work for, Cessna, of course, and they keep me going here. So.
All right, man. Well, it was a lot of fun watching the race. Again, congratulations on the win, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
I appreciate it.
And that was Dan Denayer, winner tonight here at Phoenix. What a great race we saw. Got a couple ticket entries for the raffle that we're going to give away a brand new copy of NASCAR Heat 2 tomorrow night in the JoinAPS.com Truck Series. So make sure you guys are subscribed and following along for that. For tonight, though, it was a great race, and I'm excited and happy to present your winner, Dan Denayer. It was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for checking out the broadcast here in the Old Bastards Racing League. And we will see you guys tomorrow night for the JoinAPS.com Truck Series live from Dover. Good night. Or I should say good morning. I mean, it's not really the night. Good morning, good afternoon. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining us here on Jake Bell Productions.